Good evening, everyone. My name is Abhijit. Today, in this Zoom Marathon Challenge video, I am going to talk about the difference between HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. JavaScript means JS, where HTML is stand for Hypertext Markup Language, and CSS is stand for Cascading Style Sheets, and where JS stand for JavaScript. Basically, using the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can easily make a website which is user interactive as well as responsive. If I'm talking about the major difference between HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, without HTML or without CSS or without JavaScript, you can't build a website. For making a complete website, you need three of them at the same time. Suppose there is HTML. Now let's understand what is HTML basically. Basically, HTML is the structure of a website without any styling, without any functionality. For if you want to add styling, animation, and other things, then you can easily use CSS. That time the CSS is come on the picture. Using HTML and CSS, you can build or design a very interactive page, user page, where user can easily interact towards the page, but it is not functionable. For adding the function, we need JavaScript. For that, let me share my screen to clarify the concept of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. H, you can see there are, suppose let me take an example of a page, and there is page is built on using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Where HTML is basically used for structure. Suppose you design a form, then you have to write everything on your HTML, and then you have to, if you want to design your form, then you have to use your styling purpose CSS. Then if you want, suppose after filling the whole form, you want to submit, and after submitting you want to get data, that time you need JavaScript. Let's example of two extra example to understand the concept clearly. The first one is take about the human. If I'm talking about the human, this is the HTML, this is the skeleton of the human without any body or without any brain, without any extra thing. This is a simple skeleton. This is the structure of a human. And then suppose there are without blood, without just we have wearing the dress and everything, there are the bones and everything is coming. This is CSS. And our nerving system and the mind and everything is working in the sense of the humor. It is everything is our control. That is actually JavaScript. Then if I combine HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then a completely human will be built. This is how basically concept of JavaScript is working. I know this is not real. This is not programming, but this is how JavaScript, HTML, and CSS basically work. It is not in a human life. Human life is totally different. Now let's take another example of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to understand that concept clearly. Any car company want to build their car, and they have to design first and what is the structure is going for our car and how it's look like. First they design, and this design is basically your structure, that is HTML. And after that, the drawing the structure, they have to design and what color I have to put in my car and what tire. That's everything. This is basically for look purpose, and this is for CSS. And the third thing is you add your structure, you create a base of the car, and then you add the color on the car, but you don't have engine. Then how your car will be running? That time you need engine. And basically this is the main, you can add the engine, add the functionality. This is how basically using JavaScript we can add the functionality on our website. If I combine three of them, build structure, coloring of the car, and engineer other functionality, then a complete car will be built. This is how basically using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, a complete website can be built. And this is how the concept of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript work. That's it all about this video. Thank you.